3 months internship at Publicity and Designs in Douala, Cameroon. After finishing my studies, I decided to enter the world of professionals. You know, ladies and gentlemen, that swag and that feeling when you just left school, you're inspired, you're happy, and you're excited to get into the domain of professionals. You're excited to give your know-how. You're young and you're happy and you want to promote yourself in front of everybody. So I went with one objective in my mind. Don't be average. Don't preserve yourself. Be awesome. Be exceptional. That's what I had in mind when I was entering that enterprise. When I entered the enterprise, I entered with the mood of being the best they could ever have. And every single day, I put in a lot of effort in order to achieve that. Our role in the enterprise, together with the marketing and communication team, is that when we receive a brief from any enterprise who wants to communicate or do marketing, in the brief, there is the problem. They state the problem, and they realize to us, they express to us what they want us to do in order to solve the problem. What we do now is we sit together in the team, and then we do what we call a brainstorming session. With that brainstorming session, we have everybody bringing out 1 or 2 ideas of how they can solve the problem of the client. During the brainstorming sessions, I noticed something. All of us were professionals in marketing and communication. All of us had the same level of knowledge and intelligence. However, not all of us were able to react in the same way during brainstorming sessions. We had people who will be more open and expressive about their ideas and initiatives. We had others who will be very forceful and pushful and want everybody to adopt their idea. Mr. Perfect, Mr. Know-it-all. We have others who were rather calm, understanding, and would rather like to approach things in a calm manner. We have others who will never, ever dare to speak unless they are forced to. And we all know that in enterprises, we have those particular people who are always behind, and you always have to tap them and say something, say something. That's when I started observing, and I realized that it's not just about your skills. It's not just about your competencies. There's one thing that many people fail to understand is important for their professional life. It's their personality. That's when I decided that for this event, I'm going to talk about personality and how it influences you in your professional life. So when we talk about personality, what comes in mind? There are 2 key words. There's behavior, there's emotions. Your behavior and your emotions towards life and towards happenings is what defines your personality. We are going to try our best to understand the various types of personalities using the DISC. So what is DISC? DISC is this. There's D. D is that person who is very forward, not reserved, and is very confident. If there is anything he wants to say, he says it. He's not afraid of anybody, and he goes ahead with all his plans without worrying. He's that person who can be trusted. Another person that is very interesting as well is I. I is that person that is so friendly. In the enterprise, she interacts with everybody. She is kind and loving and very energetic. It's that person who is always moving up and down, and you're wondering, don't you get tired? Are you not fed up? That one person that no matter the many tasks that are given to that person, the person is always willing to do them because she's filled with energy. That's I. Another person is S. S is calm. Never speaks too much, but very reliable. S is that person in the enterprise whom you can go and whisper your secrets to without worrying that another person is going to hear them. because she speaks very little and listens more. That's S, the mature person who knows how to handle things and who is very calm. And then we have another person, C. C is that person that whenever there is an issue and you think you guys are done with analyzing, she still brings up one point. She's like, we forgot this. The person who pays attention to the details. That's C. And this forms what? The disc. This is a personality type that has been studied by a professional who studies personality psychology. And it explains dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. These 4 elements are part of each and everyone's character. However, there are people who can have not only one of these characteristics, but all of them. How does this influence an enterprise? How does this characteristic help an enterprise? The first thing I noticed is this. The D person is that person who is always willing to go to any extent. The person doesn't have any limits, and that person is very forward. That person helps the enterprise when it comes to public views. Same as the I. The I helps the enterprise when it comes to communication, HR. Most people here who do HR is because they have the I personality. I personality is that person who likes to interact with others and make sure that everybody is comfortable, is free and happy. So what happens to an enterprise when they have a deficiency in personalities? Because I noticed that they don't ask your personality whenever they're recruiting you in an enterprise. Whereas your personality plays a big role in how performant you can be in whatever you're given to do in an enterprise. If a D person is not being forward, is not in a position where he can excel, it reduces the productivity of the enterprise. Therefore, having the knowledge of personality helps the enterprise to be more tranquil. In what sense? Each person is in his domain of professionalism and also in his domain of personality, helping the enterprise to not have any kind of confusions, but have tranquility and serenity. Another thing is what? Competence. The more comfortable you are with your work, the more it is in your personality to do what you're doing, the more competent you are at it. It is difficult for an introvert, for someone who is an S, who is steady, to do a presentation. However, it is way easier for someone with an I to do a presentation. Same as it is difficult for someone who is an I personality to do AI and coding, whereas it's easy for someone with a consensus personality to do AI and coding. Therefore, it helps the enterprise to be more competent. Another thing it does is it helps collaboration. If everybody in the enterprise is able to understand that this person is behaving like this because it's his personality, there will be little or no conflict, and everybody is going to collaborate with each other and be more performant. Another thing is productivity, which is the key of an enterprise. For an enterprise to be productive, every person has to be doing their job well. And for each person to do their job well, what do they need? They need to be in their personality job. For me, on a personal note, understanding my personality helped me greatly to avoid things that were going to be disruptive for me. Whenever I went into any professional environment, I observed and I listened. And then I understood that my personality is not the type of person who will sit down and type for long hours. I am the type of person who prefers to be interactive with others. I am an I personality. And because I am an I personality, I understood that there were certain jobs that were not meant for me. Though you hear a lot of motivational speakers and professional speakers tell you, you have to be uncomfortable, you have to try everything and everything else. But when you have a certain level of knowledge, You preserve yourself from doing unnecessary things and focus on that particular thing that will make you extremely competent and different from other people. The more competent you are, the more you're liable to being hired in big enterprises to do big things. And the more you do big things, the more the enterprise grows and the more the enterprise develops. So if you are a manager and you want your enterprise and your team members to be able to be productive, you have to observe them. What is their character? What is their personality? What are those things that my team members like to do and feel comfortable with and are performant in? What are those things that can encourage them to ameliorate in their personality? That way, your team becomes perfect. Today, I am able to excel as a communicator and as a coach and as a public speaker. And it's because I understood that though I did marketing, and in marketing and communication, there are a whole lot of domains. There's creativity, there's creation of flyers, there is even the technical team doing the camera and everything. All of it enters into marketing. But I had to follow my personality to choose my domain. And immediately I understood that my personality was the outspoken one, the one who likes to interact with others. I knew that I had to be in that domain. So for every young person here present, for every entrepreneur, for every person, but either a leader or a manager, your personality type matters. Thank you.